the card, we're at the co-main, ladies and gentlemen, and this one is fire. Is this the fight you never knew you wanted? Before this was going to be Costa against, it was going to be Costa against Khamzat Chimaev. Of course, Costa kept pulling out on the cards. We now have Kamaru Usman against Khamzat Chimaev, and this was something that was long anticipated, even at the welterweight division. Something that we thought would be a good fight when there was a belt on the line. Now we're getting this as a co-main. Are we being spoiled? I don't know. So, real quickly on this one. Ash, if I get some thoughts from you, you said already this is a fight that you like to see.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to be competitive going to duration, or do you reckon it's going to be a walkthrough?
Yeah, no, this is a thing for me. I put a video out earlier just to say, because there was a lot of sort of and ahhing around this fight, because
Usmaning and Kamaring.
I'm in an ahhing. People are just sort of saying, "Oh, Usman shouldn't have taken this fight. He's going to do nothing from him in a middleweight division. He shouldn't be taking the fight against the dog of Chimaev." And I'm thinking, right, you look at it this way. You've got Chimaev, obviously, that's quite hyped, right? And then who's the middleweight champion? Sean Strickland. Who is Kamaru Usman dominated? Sean Strickland. So again, if Kamaru Usman goes in there and beats Chimaev, he's arguably got a case there to fight Strickland, maybe after Duplessis, if not before Duplessis. Who knows? So if you look at it that way, where if Usman goes in there and stops Chimaev, in my eyes, I think he's like, surely does he not fight for the belt against Strickland because he's already beaten Strickland? I don't know. Yeah. It's just a case that I threw out there. But I've seen several videos of Chimaev training. Obviously, this is the middleweight division where he doesn't have to cut so much weight. Yeah, so he's going to be more powerful, more stronger than he was at welterweight. So,
and he was a problem.
He
was
a beast at welterweight. He's going to be an absolute animal at middleweight. So they've both got great takedown defense. I think this could be like Kamaru Usman versus Kobe Covington, where maybe the wrestling counters each other out. Yeah. But I think if Chimaev gets a hold of him, I think it's game over. But, yeah.
I hit that. Look, fair enough, absolutely. And Khamzat Chimaev is going to be somewhat shooting in there aggressively. I think for Kamaru Usman, especially how we saw him up against Rocky, he did assume center octagon. He came in there to take the real estate. He didn't allow Rocky to come to him. And I feel like getting Khamzat to go backwards might be a smart idea too. I mean, he's not going to allow Khamzat to take the center octagon without a fight. And I feel like he's really going to bring it to him. Could that be dangerous? Could that be wise? I'm not entirely sure yet, to be honest with you, but I do think it could be a good scrap to go distance. I do think, because with Burns, that was a great fight. I watched it, Burns, Khamzat Chimaev. I was sitting here last night, watching that back, and I was just gassed. I was just reanimated all over again because the fight was so good. And generally, it was so good. So good. I worry that Kamaru Usman is going to deliver anything of that kind of scale. Granted, that fight was at welterweight, I believe. It was at welterweight. So that more power is going to be thrown in this one. Look, people are confident on Khamzat here in the chats. I've got some big things to consider for this one.
Keep coming through. TMM says, I've got some big things to consider for this one. Exactly. There's so much stylistically we have to go through, and there's so many points on so many aspects in this fight that we need to look at. Like we just mentioned one, which was the wrestling. They've both got great takedown defense. I think whoever initiates the takedown or the grappling first could come out on top. But like I said, I think if Chimaev takes a hold of him, all I can see is Usman on his back. I just don't know. Like, look, it might counter each other out. But the most important thing for me in this fight, and if I was Usman and they offered me this fight, there'd be one stipulation in this fight that would be the main factor for me to accept it. And that would be, I want it 5 rounds. Because we've seen Khamzat Chimaev gas in 3 rounds. So if Kamaru Usman can make Khamzat Chimaev work for these takedowns, then it could be that's why I mean, if it was 5 rounds, it would be very, very interesting. We know Kamaru Usman can go for days, and that was a welterweight. So we're going to see. Like I know I'm saying that about Chimaev as well, but
this is the first time.
One stipulation for me.
First time we've seen Usman actually do 3 rounds in like 5 years.
Yeah, mate, you're 100% right. Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Yes.
No, it's just what he's used to. But then could we see a different Usman because of that? Could we see someone who's going to come out with a higher intensity?
Yeah, no, you're right, exactly. And that's another factor you want to play into it. Every time Chimaev's has fought, he's the one pushing the pace. He's the one that's always on the front foot. But flip it around. When Kamaru Usman fights, he's the one that's always on the front foot and always pressuring.
And now he's got
So
3 rounds to do it, so he can probably do it
exactly.
at a higher intensity. There is so much you got to consider to this as well. I noticed in that fight against Rocky when I saw Usman going in there, he was kind of a binary striker. Like he didn't set up his power strikes too much. He kind of threw him out there 1 or 2 or maybe ones. And I kind of wanted to either set it up or train a few more. With Khamzat, he set up his uppercuts beautifully. And I think that's one move that he did constantly against Burns could probably be a huge turning point for this fight, because Usman ducked his head a couple of times against Rocky. He got a knee to his face.
Yes, and he ate that knee as well.
He did one particular time. He likes to kind of like strike and use the duck to get out of there. And I just feel like those Bolo uppercuts from Khamzat Chimaev will be ringing his bell all day long. So, there's just one particular weapon that I think is going to be effective for Chimaev. It will be those uppercuts in the close range. But that's what he does so well, Chimaev. He sets up his striking. Usman, what I'd like to see for him in order to have a better chance of this fight is from the set up striking a little bit more. Hopefully Trevor Whitman's been in his ear on about it.
No. Henry Woofed has been in his corner.
Henry, of course. All right.
But yeah, Raphael says this one's going to be a test for Khamzat. Again, I do agree. I think it will be a test. But as I said, all depends who initiates that takedown first, in my opinion. Yaski says Chimaev all day, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we've got TMM with a good comment. They're going to come up slow. For some reason, they're taking ages to pop up.
It's fast for me.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. It's just slow for me then. So TMM says Usman has an incredible high takedown defense, but that's against welterweights. You can't compare Kobe or Leon with Khamzat's wrestling. Also, Kamaru has suffered numerous takedowns with cage grabs before. There you go. You've said it in mine, and this is why I'm glad you've joined us. You picked these little gems out.
Yeah, look, this brilliant. It's well said, but also as well with Khamzat Chimaev, size wise and just frame wise, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult and daunting for Kamaru Usman. But also that's what I wanted to say. Khamzat Chimaev, let's look at his history. Let's look at the record of these guys. So, coming into this, he's not pussyfoot around it. Khamzat Chimaev is a feared fighter, and I think it comes from the fact that in his whole UFC career, he's only lost 1 round. Do you know what I mean? And he was just talking just now about him being tested. I love that fight against Burns because it was a test we needed to see, and we can learn so much from that test. What we didn't know before that fight was, does Khamzat Chimaev have a chin? We didn't know that before the fight. Now we do. We do know it now. And then secondly is, can Khamzat Chimaev go the distance? Can he go 3 rounds? Because we never knew that before. Now we do. Like, we learned so much from that, and we owe it to Burns for showing us that. Like, we do. I think that was
it's very
great.
true. Like
good
you said,
fight.
like it was an eye opener, and now you've got to go back to that fight to sort of see the Khamzat Chimaev that some other people don't see. People just think, oh, Khamzat Chimaev dog, but that fight was a massive eye opener, and seeing if Khamzat Chimaev doesn't get the takedown, it's kind of stifling his game plan, because we saw Burns hurt him. So if Burns can hurt him, what's Kamaru Usman going to do to him on the feet?
Yeah, look, they kind of stood there and they threw, and it was such a good fight. But yeah, it's Khamzat Chimaev's ability to now, he's got a chin, and that I think is something that's going to be quite important, because if Kamaru Usman lands one or a few strikes, fantastic, that's great, but I feel like Chimaev really is going to respond in a different way, and probably catch him with a couple of opportunities. Let's get to the gauges. What do you reckon?
Yeah, quick couple of chats because they're flying through. Just read that one there. So Yaski says, luckily it's a 3 rounds, though, especially with the pace of Khamzat. Exactly. And I think at the pace of Kamaru Usman as well. I think that could cause Khamzat problems as well. Imran Khan says, if it it goes to a close decision, don't think the UFC would give it to Usman. Meant to say Usman, who is at the tail of the end, fighting at the end of his career. Agreed. TMM. Usman has some of the best straight line striking in MMA. His jab and cross combo is lethal, and Khamzat's tendency to not move his head off the center line is worrying, and that's exactly what I was on about, buddy. About when it was an eye opener of him fighting Gilbert Burns, because Khamzat couldn't get his game plan of obviously the takedown. Tried a couple of times, didn't work, and then he just got reckless with his striking. And
Counterable.
you've said it there perfectly. You don't want to do that against someone like Kamaru Usman. So again, this is what I'm on about. Kamaru Usman's obviously fighting upper weight as well as Chimaev. They're both going to be bigger. But as long as Kamaru Usman can keep Khamzat at bay and stuff a couple of takedowns, it could be a long night for Chimaev. Last couple of comments, and we'll get to the gauges. George Mary's in the house. Welcome in, George Mary.
Yes, George.
Welcome in, sir.
Welcome in, man. Thanks for chiming in. It's great to have you, bro.
Yes, lads. Good evening. Sorry, I'm late. Late. Bills to pay. Mrs. Keep happy. Yeah, you can say that again, mate.
Of course. Yeah.
Yaski says, but then again, this is Usman on short notice. True. George May says Usman via split decision. Ooh, hey, dicey.
That could be good. I hear what you're saying there. I would love to see that kind of note. And you know what? TMM, you make me think differently. I love it. I do. I really do. Because you're right. Yeah, with Khamzat Chimaev, he's counterable. I saw that against Burns. And you're definitely right about the straight striking of Usman. Those 1-2s are pretty good. It's just, like I said, the setup he needs. It's going to be quite interesting. Yeah, I'll have to see some improvements on both. Striking, who are we going to give it to?
Usman.
All right. And then grappling, who do we give that to?
Oh, Christ.
It's a tough one, isn't it? I think they both use it. Khamzat Chimaev use it far more effectively. Yeah, but Khamzat...
Yes. Yeah, no, you're right. You're spot on. Usman will use it just for a takedown, won't he?
Yeah, and Khamzat Chimaev uses it so much more effectively. It's great.
Yeah, he'll use it to get the finish. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so we'll go then to Khamzat with that one. And then power. Oh, I want to give it to Khamzat, to be honest. How do you feel about that?
I've only seen him starch one person.
Khamzat Chimaev?
Yeah.
You got to kind of look at the nature of which he starches people. Like, he just kind of puts hands on them and then they fall asleep.
Yeah, I know, but like, how many knockouts have you seen him have? Like, you watched? I've only seen one, and that was Jared Mershoff.
Yeah, okay.
Usman's flatlined Masvidal.
Yeah.
Flatlined Gilbert Burns. And we were saying how much of a test Gilbert Burns gave Chimaev. Who else is he flatlined? Kobe Covington dropped him a couple of times.
Yeah,
but again, he does hit hard, and like this is what again we've not actually questioned. He had power at welterweight. What's his power going to be like a middleweight? We've not even thought about that.
Yeah, look, it can transcend.
And like I think TM or I think it was TM that said about his jab. He does have a good jab. He's always had a good jab. Imagine how effective his jab is. Like with like he's not dehydrated or anything. He's a fully hydrated Kamaru Usman. That's scary, man.
It's a terrible.
I'd give the power to Kamaru Usman. Me,
you would?
I would, yeah. Shoot me if you want, but I'm going Kamaru Usman power.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. I'm just trying to make the argument for Khamzat, and look, he's got power in both hands, but also the way that he was able to drag Burns across the floor as well in the grappling, like the power.
Yeah, that's strength though, not power.
Yeah, he's got the strength. He's got that. He just mauls people. If he doesn't, he does. Yeah, he kind of the way that he's like a bear in a way. The way he's like is overly physically aggressive with people. The power is in him. You know, it's there. It maybe just didn't go through the hands to the chin, but he expressed it in a way he ragdolls people across the octagon. And I think he does that far more than Usman. He might struggle with some takedowns from time to time. Chimaev just picks up, smashes. He smashes. So that's why I would go Chimaev. But we'll sit with Usman. Speed, who gets that?
I've got to go Khamzat. Got to. Yeah, so I didn't mean to click on that comment, but I've clicked on it now while you're having a think. Tim Momo says, power is Khamzat for me, minus the Masvidal KO. There's no argument. The Burns finish was because the jab was perfectly timed.
Wealth of knowledge, this guy. Wealth of knowledge.
And then another one, Khamzat has one shot slept
GM3
and Askarov. Oh yeah, we forgot about the Askarov KO, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's just the power. You can see it before, and he's gone up a weight class too. All right, if you don't mind me, I will change that. But
I'll stick with Chimaev. I'm going to stick with my opinion. You can change it
because I do think it would be Chimaev. But then speed wise, I wouldn't I mean, I'll probably go Kamaru Usman as well. I'm thinking about that. I'll go Kamaru Usman for speed because I'm thinking about the Masvidal knockout. That was rapid. Although, look
But
at
TMM
against.
says he does see our argument for giving Usman power. I've just seen more of it. I've just seen more of Usman use his power. Obviously, we've seen Khamzat he's powerful in the sense of like a power sort of power double legs or a power like throw, if you know what I mean. But then I
Yeah,
think
look,
that's strength. I think if you were going to say who's stronger, Khamzat Chimaev is way stronger.
yeah, you got it in the grappling. I just think I've seen potential with the power of Chimaev more than I might have seen him use it through punching. But he's a powerful guy. He's a powerful guy, and he finds that right hand and gets it on the target. Woo! Speed though, we're getting on speed now, and let's do this. I mean, cardio, yeah, right, fair enough. Kamaru Usman gets there all day long, which now leads us down to the side of speed. And yeah, Hamzat's fast. I think the Nigerian Nightmare is rapid, but then Rocky gave him problems because of speed. Rocky, Leon Edwards was faster than Kamaru Usman, which then kind of puts in respective Kamaru Usman's speed.
I'd definitely say that Khamzat is quicker. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we can do that.
Last quick comment. George Murray says the uppercut KO by Khamzat on that fighter who's making his UFC, which is that Alaskarov.
Yeah.
He says making his debut was dirty, but as Ash is saying, Usman is powerful. So he's kind of agreeing. But obviously saying that Khamzat is as well.
That uppercut's going to come back tonight and it's going to land on Usman again, I'm telling you. Not tonight, on the night.
Agree with the power for Usman, but speed is Chimaev says it, Imran Khan. And then George tops it off with
smash
speed
everybody.
Plus, velocity equals smash.
Smash everybody.
Love that.
Wow. Okay, well, look, there's the gauges. At the moment, it looks like Khamzat Chimaev in the blue corner has 3, and you got Usman in the red corner with just a 2. Now, is that marry up? Is that where you would go on the night as well?
Oh, mate, this is the toughest pick of the night for me. I really don't know who to go for because, like you said, it just. I think if Chimaev, like I will keep repeating myself, I'm boring myself. Just if Khamzat Chimaev gets hold of Usman, I just can't sit. I don't know. It just all depends. If Usman can stop the takedowns, it will be a long night for Chimaev because Burns gave him a long night. So
yeah. I mean, if it's a 5-round, bit of a better argument.
If
really,
it's 5 rounds, I'll be going Usman.
Yeah, hands down. All right. Well, like that, I'll go Chimaev on the night. I think